Intuitive Fridge Raid Lunch, episode 23. My local butcher sells Parma ham offcuts, basically rich chunks of cured aged pork leg that don't get sliced. They're super flavoursome and add a funky meaty depth to just about anything. I diced it up while thinking about what I wanted to make. I thought at this point I'd make some sort of risotto, so I chopped up an old spring onion, tipped oil into a pan over a low heat and slowly fried everything together. It was whilst everything was frying that I realised I didn't have any risotto rice. While I thought about how to solve that problem, I ripped up a slightly stale leftover ciabatta roll. Whatever I was making needed crunch, so I added the chunks to a tray, drizzled them with oil, seasoned with salt and grated over parmesan. I baked them in the oven till crisp, golden and full of caramelised cheese flavour. I keep most of my pasta and rice in a box. I got it down and had a root through, hoping to find an appropriate starch to match with the deep meaty flavour in the pan. I had lots of different types of pasta, but not really enough of one type. This gave me an idea. Often when Italians are faced with this problem, they'll make some sort of brothy pasta stewy dish, a bit like a minestrone. I broke up the spaghetti and got it into salted boiling water along with a bit of orzo to top it up. To make the broth for the stew, I added water to the Parma ham and spring onions. I also added the rind from the parmesan I used on the ciabatta. Parmesan rinds add great flavour to stocks, stews and sauces. I added peas, a splash of rice wine for a sherry-like note and simmered everything together while the pasta cooked in another pan. I could have boiled the pasta in the same pan as the broth, but I didn't really want too much starch getting into it. I got the ciabatta out the oven. The chunks were crisp, had a rich cheese flavour and I knew they would counter the soft pasta stew well. Once the pasta was ready, I drained it and washed off any remaining starch. I tipped the pasta into the broth and gave everything a stir. I ladled the stew into bowls, topped with the ciabatta croutons and got involved.